The biggest stock market crash in modern history wasn't caused by a bank, not a hedge fund, not a supercomputer. It was caused by a man in his pajamas. May 6th, 2010, 2:41 p.m. Eastern Time. The market drops 5% in 4 minutes. $1 trillion, enough to buy Apple, Google, and Amazon combined, vanishes from screens across the world. For 5 silent minutes, no one knows if the financial system is collapsing. Regulators spend 5 years hunting the cause. They find a bedroom in West London. Inside, a 31-year-old who still lives with his parents, owns no car, carries a backpack everywhere, and just made Wall Street's most powerful machines look like toys. His name is Navinder Singh Sarao. Hounslow, West London, 1989. A 10-year-old sits in a cramped bedroom. Planes descend into Heathrow so low the windows rattle every few minutes. His parents work double shifts. The mortgage is always due. The rule in this house is simple: keep moving forward. The boy is Navinder Singh Sarao. 20 years later, from this same bedroom, he will trigger the largest stock market crash in modern history. But right now, he's just a kid who's very, very good at video games. At school, Nav is invisible. Average grades, no close friends. Teachers describe him as quiet, direct, difficult to reach. But at home, something different emerges. He plays FIFA, not casually, obsessively. He faces the same opponent 50 times in a row, memorizing patterns until he can predict every move before it happens. He climbs into the top 200 players in the UK. His parents see wasted time. Nav is teaching himself to read systems, find the pattern, exploit it before the opponent adjusts. He just doesn't know what game he's training for yet. 2001, Brunel University, computer science and mathematics, cheapest housing available, studies alone. Then one night, his flatmate walks in with a new laptop and cash in hand. Nav asks how. The answer: student loan money dumped into a brokerage account, trading tech stocks during the boom. Nav doesn't sleep that night. Forums, textbooks, charts, until sunrise. The obsession that mastered FIFA locks onto a new target. He opens a small account. Losses pile up fast. He treats each loss as a data point, adjusts, and tries again. By graduation, Nav is convinced. Trading is the only path worth pursuing. What he doesn't know is that the enemy he'll face isn't other traders. It's something that doesn't sleep, doesn't hesitate, and executes 1,000 trades before a human can blink. April 2003. Nav is back in Hounslow. Odd jobs, telesales, then admin at Bank of America. Meaningless work. Then a newspaper ad. Wanted, futures traders, must work well under pressure. It leads to Futex, a small London trading arcade. The selection starts with 50 candidates. A proctor calls out, 37 times 83, 2 seconds. Wrong answers are dismissed on the spot. Hypothetical trades under aggressive questioning follow. By end of day, 6 remain. Nav is one of them. Not the fastest, not the most confident, but he never flinches, and he never guesses. Inside, he's assigned to the S&P 500 E-mini futures, the most liquid equity contract on Earth. His method is called scalping. Buy, sell, profit, $50. Buy, sell, profit, $30. Buy, sell, loss, $20. Repeat, hundreds of times per day. Most traders look for dramatic swings. Nav looks for tiny edges, repeated until they compound. The trading equivalent of picking up coins on a highway. He has one advantage no one else possesses. He can do this for 12 hours without getting bored. To him, repetition isn't tedious, it's calming. He refuses stop losses, calls it letting trades breathe. When he posts strong returns, he storms into management, demanding bigger limits. Arguments spill onto the trading floor. The only reason he isn't fired, his numbers back up every word. Over months, Nav starts recognizing fingerprints in the order book. Recurring sizes, timing patterns, sequences of plays. He studies them the way he once studied FIFA opponents. Then the world starts to break. 2007. Nav spots something unusual in the v.e.x, Germany's leading stock index. Large buy orders appear on the ladder during late sessions, vanish when hit, then reappear. Someone is propping up the market invisibly. One morning, the pattern collapses. NAV shorts it. The trade prints money for 2 weeks. January 2008. The mystery buyer is unmasked. Jérôme Kerviel, a junior trader at Société Générale, who secretly built a €50 billion unauthorized position. The bank loses €4.9 billion. NAV's short pays again. Then, Lehman Brothers collapses. The financial crisis hits full force. The E-mini swings violently by several percent a day. Traders NAV has known for years go silent. For most people, it's chaos. For NAV, it's the clearest signal he's ever seen. November 25, 2008. The Federal Reserve announces $600 billion in emergency purchases, the largest intervention in history. Most traders hesitate. NAV buys, aggressively, near his margin limit. No stop loss. His broker calls, panicked. You're at 90% margin. If this drops 2%, you're wiped out. Look at the chart, then call me back. He hangs up. Markets surge the next day, and the next. By the time he closes, NAV has made an estimated $15 million on a single trade. From his parents' house, he doesn't celebrate, doesn't tell anyone, just opens a new chart. But the edge he finds next won't just make him rich. It will put him on a collision course with the most powerful machines in global finance. In the next few minutes, NAV triggers the largest crash in modern history. And in the years after, he discovers the real trap wasn't the market. It was someone much closer. If you want to see how this ends, make sure you're subscribed. The algorithm buries videos like this. One click fixes that. Now, back to the day the machines lost. 2009. The markets are changing. Orders appear and vanish in microseconds. Fills execute faster than any human can react. NAV's edge, reading patterns, exploiting repeated behavior, is dissolving. The opponents aren't traders anymore, they're algorithms. Firms like Jump Trading and Citadel deploy systems executing thousands of trades per second. Their servers sit physically inside exchange data centers. Exchanges reward them with discounted fees. A man with a mouse against machines that think in microseconds. NAV doesn't accept it. He sits with the problem the way he always has, staring at the screen until the answer moves. If algorithms react to what they see on the order book, what happens if you change what they see? He commissions custom software, subject line, matrix. The concept: place large sell orders that look real, thousands of contracts, millions in visible supply, but program them to cancel the instant the price approaches. The algorithms see an avalanche of selling pressure building. In reality, the wall doesn't exist. They pull back, drain liquidity, and NAV trades into the gap. He isn't trying to be faster than the machines. He's feeding them a lie and trading on their reaction. The CME sends a warning. Other traders are complaining about disappearing orders. NAV replies, "Sorry, I was just showing a friend what high-frequency firms do 24 hours a day. Does this mean you're cracking down on them too?" Next morning, he turns the program back on. May 6th, 2010. Morning in New York. The markets are already on edge. Greece is drowning in debt. Fear running through every trading floor. At 9:20 a.m. Chicago time, NAV activates the program. 6 massive sell orders appear on the E-mini ladder. More than $200 million in nominal value, constantly refreshing as the market moves. Every time the price gets close, the program cancels the orders and replaces them slightly higher, like standing in front of a speeding car, then teleporting 10 feet back the instant before impact. The car keeps chasing, you keep disappearing. In 6 minutes, the program does this 604 times. NAV barely touches the mouse. For over 2 hours, it runs, feeding the illusion of overwhelming supply into a market already choking on fear. Algorithms pull back, liquidity drains. The order book thins until every small trade has an exaggerated impact. At 2:41 p.m. Eastern, something snaps. 5% in 4 minutes, the steepest freefall in modern market history. Procter & Gamble, a $200 billion company, drops 37% in minutes. Accenture briefly trades at 1 cent per share. For a few seconds, you could buy the entire company for the price of a used car. Trading halts. For 5 minutes, silence. globally. Then prices rebound. By the close, trillions in paper value have been erased and recovered. The charts look like a heartbeat that flatlined and came back. Nav checks his account. Profit. Somewhere between $435,000 and $879,000. In his childhood bedroom. He shuts down the program, walks past his parents watching television, goes to bed. The next morning, headlines explode. Flash crash shakes global markets. Trillion-dollar mystery. Nav reads none of them. He logs in, opens the ladder, and starts again. There's one thing everyone who knows Nav agrees on. He trusts numbers, not people. He doesn't network, doesn't schmooze. When managers offer advice, he ignores them. The order book is the only truth he recognizes, which makes what happens next almost impossible to explain. In the years after the flash crash, Nav keeps trading. The profits are extraordinary. Millions accumulate. He tells no one, lives like nothing has changed. But he has a problem he can't solve. What to do with the money? He doesn't trust banks, doesn't trust advisors, doesn't trust the system he's been exploiting. That's when Jesus Alejandro Garcia Alvarez enters his life. Nav knows him as Mr. Jesus, a Spanish money manager with offshore connections. He promises 30% annual returns, tax-efficient structures, total confidentiality, no banks involved. Nav hands over tens of millions. The statements show growth, profits, new opportunities. Behind the curtain, it's a Ponzi scheme. New investor money pays old investors. The investments don't exist. And this is where the story fractures into two versions that cannot both be true. Version 1, the blind spot. Nav reads order books with superhuman precision, but has never learned to read people. Mr. Jesus offered an escape from the system he hated. Nav trusted the numbers on the statements. The numbers were fake. His greatest strength became his greatest vulnerability, because the one pattern he couldn't detect was a human being lying to his face. Version 2, the exit. Nav knew regulators would eventually come, so he moved his fortune offshore through someone who could make it disappear. The Ponzi scheme wasn't a trap, it was a cover story. The money isn't gone, it's hidden, and Nav played everyone one last time. Only Nav knows which version is true. He has never said. April 21st, 2015, 6 a.m. Nav is asleep in his bedroom. Same room, same desk. UK police, US federal agents, a joint operation built on 5 years of forensic data. They lead him out in handcuffs, past the kitchen, past his parents standing there watching their son being taken away. The same parents who worked double shifts to buy this house. Nav reaches for his offshore accounts for legal fees. The accounts are empty, every one. Extradition to the United States. Criminal charges carrying up to 380 years. Penalties exceeding $38 million. Then something surfaces that changes everything. Doctors diagnose Nav with Asperger's syndrome, high-functioning autism, undiagnosed for 36 years. The pieces rearrange. The obsessive focus, not just dedication, a neurological pattern. The social isolation, not arrogance. Genuine difficulty reading people. The inability to stop, not greed. A mind that locks onto systems and cannot let go. The same wiring that made him a trading savant made him vulnerable to anyone who could speak the language of numbers. To the algorithms, Nav was a predator. To Mr. Jesus, he was prey. In custody, Nav breaks. The cell is small. The noise never stops. The routine he'd built his entire life around is gone. Then one night, his cellmate attempts to take his own life. Nav finds him, grabs him, holds him upright, screams for guards. No one comes. He keeps holding. When help arrives, Nav is shaking. He doesn't speak for 2 days. Prosecutors want decades. But the man in the courtroom doesn't look like a Wall Street villain. He looks like someone who's been broken by a gift he never asked for and couldn't control. Here's what the investigation never wanted you to focus on. On May 6th, 2010, the same time Nav ran his program, a Kansas-based mutual fund called Waddell & Reed executed an automated sell of 75,000 E-mini contracts, $4.1 billion dumped into the market with no price sensitivity. Their algorithm didn't slow down when liquidity vanished. It just kept selling. Academic studies later confirmed this single institutional order did more damage than anything Nav did that day. Waddell and Reed wasn't arrested. They weren't even named in the initial report. Nav became the headline. If you remember one thing from this story, remember this. In September 2020, JP Morgan Chase settled federal charges for spoofing, the same crime, fake orders to deceive other traders, canceling before execution. JP Morgan did it for years, across multiple desks, in precious metals, in treasuries, on a scale that makes Nav's operation look like a lemonade stand. The penalty, $920 million, 0 executives arrested, 0 prison time. $920 million is roughly 1 week of JP Morgan's quarterly profit, a parking ticket. Nav, 1 man, 1 mouse, 1 bedroom, faced $38 million in penalties and 380 years. When a bank spoofs the market, they write a check. When a regular person does it, they face extradition. That's not a flaw in the system. That is the system. The trial stretches for years. Online, traders rally under hashtag #FreeNav. They cite the studies. They share the JP Morgan numbers. They ask, if this is a crime when one man does it from his bedroom, why is it a footnote when a bank does it from a trading floor? January 2020. Against all expectations, Nav avoids prison. The judge cites his autism, his cooperation, and the total collapse of his finances. Time served. 1 year home detention. Lifetime trading ban. Before sentencing, Nav speaks. I spent 36 years trying to find happiness on a path built on a lie. I did things society said would give you happiness. And when they didn't, I didn't know where to look. Navinder Singh Sarao is 45 now. He lives in Hounslow, same neighborhood, same family home. He rides his bicycle through streets he's known his entire life. He is banned from trading forever. The algorithms he fought are faster now, more embedded, more invisible. The firms that deploy them are larger, wealthier, and more protected than ever. The flash crash was a warning, not about one man in a bedroom, about a system so fragile, so automated, so detached from reality that it can lose $1 trillion in 4 minutes. And blame it on a guy in his pajamas. Nav found a crack in the foundation. The system's response wasn't to fix the crack. It was to arrest the person who pointed at it. The crack is still there. The machines are still running. Here's what I want to know from you. If JP Morgan can spoof for years and write a check, and Nav spoofs for months and faces prison, what exactly is the crime? Is it the action, or is it who's doing it? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every one. If you made it this far, you're the reason this channel exists. Subscribe. The next one goes deeper into who really controls the markets and why nobody talks about them. I'll see you there.